Why change fails and what most leaders miss. There is a serious problem with change, and most people do not realize it until they are already in the middle of frustration. Everywhere you look, people are trying to improve something. Organizations are launching new strategies. Teams are setting ambitious goals, and individuals are making decisions to grow, scale, or transform. Yet, despite all of this effort, progress often feels slower than expected. Sometimes everything looks right on paper, but in real life, things are just not moving. And if we are honest, we have all been there. You set a plan, you are motivated, you even tell people about it with confidence. And then somewhere between Monday and Wednesday, reality starts negotiating with your plans. By Friday, the plan is still there, but execution has quietly disappeared. So the question is not whether people want change. The real question is, why does change keep breaking down? Over the years, experts have tried to answer this question. Kurt Lewin introduced the idea of unfreeze, change, and refreeze, helping us understand that change is a process. John Cotter expanded that with the 8-step model, emphasizing urgency, alignment, and momentum. Prose developed the ADKAR model, focusing on awareness, desire, knowledge, ability, and reinforcement. These are powerful models, and they have helped organizations globally. But let me say this clearly. Even with all these models, people are still struggling, which means the problem is not that we do not have frameworks. The problem is that we are missing something deeper. Here is what I discovered. Change does not fail randomly. It fails at specific stages, and the challenge is that most people cannot see those stages clearly. So they apply efforts in the wrong place. They try to execute when they have not aligned. They try to align when they have not prepared. They try to prepare when they have not understood the real problem. It's like trying to cook a meal without checking whether you have the ingredients, and then being surprised that the food is not turning out well. At some point, you have to ask yourself, did I actually prepare, or did I just start? That is where the ADAPT model becomes practical. It gives you a structure: alert, diagnose, readiness, alignment, transform, and sustain. Or simply, see early, understand clearly, prepare fully, align people, execute effectively, and sustain growth. Now, let us look at a real example. When Nehemiah heard about the walls of Jerusalem were broken, he did not just jump into action immediately. He did not come out and say, everybody come out tomorrow morning, let us start. Instead, the Bible says he sat down, he wept, he fasted, and he prayed. Now, if it happened today, some people would have said, why are you wasting time? Let us just act. But what Nehemiah was doing was not delay. He was developing clarity. He was seeing the problem deeply. Then he moved into understanding. He recognized that the issue was not just the broken walls, but a broken system. After that, he prepared, he planned, he secured resources, he gained permission. Then he aligned people. He did not just give instructions, he communicated purpose. Then he worked on execution, and finally, sustainability. What is powerful about this story is that it shows us that effective change is not rushed, it is structured. Let us bring this closer to home. In your personal life, if you do not take time to understand what is really happening, you will keep solving the same problem repeatedly. And if in your business, if everything is not aligned, you keep on experiencing problems without progress. Everyone will be working, but the results will not reflect the effort. In your organization, if you skip preparation, execution becomes stressful instead of effective. And this is where many leaders get frustrated. They start asking questions like, why are things not working? But the better question is, where in the process did we not work the way we should? How can we identify the problem? As Peter Drucker said, plans and intention are just nothing until they degenerate into hard work. But listen to this. Hard work without clarity and alignment will still not produce the right results. The problem is not that people are not trying. The problem is that most people do not understand how change actually works. And once you understand the structure, you stop guessing and you start leading. How to apply adapt in real life and in leadership. Let me say something that might save you a lot of stress. Most people are not failing because they lack ability. They are failing because they are applying effort at the wrong stage. They are trying to execute without alignment. They are trying to align without preparation. They are trying to prepare without understanding the real issue. So what happens? They work harder but not smarter. They push more but not effectively. And after a while, they get tired and start wondering whether the goal itself was the problem. An adapt model gives you a simple, practical way to approach change. See early, understand clearly, prepare fully, align people, execute effectively, sustain growth. This is not just theory. This is how change actually works in real life. When you see clearly, you begin to notice signals before they become problems. You are not waiting for things to break before you act. When you understand clearly, you go deeper than the surface level issues. You ask the right questions and identify the root causes. When you prepare fully, you ensure that you're ready. You gather resources, clarify expectations, and set a solid foundation before you move. Now, let me pause here and say something about preparation. See, here's the thing. When it comes to preparation, you have to start thinking about what you need to do today to move. When you align people, you bring clarity to roles and responsibilities. This is where many teams get stuck because they are not prepared. Everyone is working, but not everyone is working together. As Patrick Lencioni has shown, teams struggle when alignment and trust are missing. When you execute effectively, you move forward with discipline and structure. You are not longer guessing. You are following a clear path to success. And finally, when you sustain growth, you build systems that keep results going. Because if it is only work, transformation will not be sustainable. Think about organizations that have scaled successfully today, how they created change. They did not just have ideas, they built systems, they aligned people, they created clarity, they sustained performance. That is the difference between temporary success and lasting impact. As Stephen R. Covey said, to change ourselves effectively, we first must focus on changing our perceptions. When you understand these 6 stages, everything becomes clearer for you. You begin to see where change is breaking down. You begin to align people more effectively. You begin to execute with confidence, because change is not random, it is structured. And when you understand the structure, you gain the ability to lead change in any environment.